Hey, what's up, guys? So after spending probably a little bit too much time playing the NBA Jam games and all that stuff, we're going to take a little break from that today. We're going to play some Tecmo NBA Basketball. We're going to play with Jordan. So I've been working on the video that is going to come out here pretty soon. I guess we'll watch some of this intro. The video is going to come out on Friday. Is going to be a quick review of NBA Hang Time for the N64. This one's probably going to be a little bit quicker than some of the other videos that I've done recently. There's not a whole ton to say about that game. Most of the video talks actually about like the fact that NBA Hang Time was the first basketball game for the N64. That might sound like it's really impressive at the beginning, but the truth of the matter is that the N64, when Hang Time came out, didn't even have 10 games. The N64 had a launch that was very, very troubled, and a lot of people kind of forget about that. So anyway, we're going to get into that, but for now, let's play some Tecmo NBA Basketball and sort of see how we do. I don't know, maybe we'll turn this into some kind of project, maybe we won't. Just so you know, the version that I'm playing with, this is the original version of the game. So we have this guy right here, right? You know who this is, and that's the team that we're going to play with. I haven't set anything up, so we'll go to Team Control, and we'll choose the Bulls. Now, the cool thing about this is it plays all the games for us at once. It's not like the football game where you have to play, you know, a whole bunch of, you have to like push forward through all the games and it goes like one at a time and stuff like that. Anyway, so let's figure this out. It's been a little while since I've played this game. Okay, so B is shoot, and that was Jordan taking the shot from the middle of nowhere. And then B is the button that does everything. So B is that lurch button, I guess you can call it. And A will pass, so we go over here to Jordan, and I run out of bounds, okay? So as you can see, it's been a little while since I played this game. I know that I had the video about this game a while back, but I mean, that was several months ago, so it's going to take a little while to get this all set up. Here's Grant with the dunk. Once you get the hang of this game, though, it's actually not that bad. So the way to play it is you're supposed to like constantly be pushing like the A button or the B button on defense to do stuff, and then you're supposed to push the A button first to make sure that you are the guy who's closest to the ball. The problem with it, of course, is that with all the flickering on the screen and all these other problems, like, you know, who knows if you're actually going to be able to like get that to work right or not. And then on offense, basically what you're doing is you're trying to get the ball to guys with an open shot. You have to be careful on offense. Because if you run into a guy who's playing defense on you, you're going to be called for a foul. So what you have to do is you have to try to drive as much as humanly possible. But once you get into the flow of things, you can do things like what the computer's doing there against me, where you basically just sort of drive every single time up. See, that time I'm trying to drive, I didn't even see that there was a guy in front of me, and I ended up getting called for the offensive foul. It's interesting because this is a game that so many people remember so fondly, and really, in terms of being a basketball game, this is a lot better than the other NES basketball games by like a long shot. But it's still not a great game. There are a lot of issues with this game, and the biggest is this lurch thing is really not well conceived. The other one is the fact that when you're trying to change players, it's really, really difficult. So back when I was a kid, my neighbor had this game, and I used to borrow it all the time. And I would try for hours and hours and hours to try to like beat it, and I was never able to. And it's kind of funny oh, come on, man. That's garbage. He wasn't even stationary except for like maybe, you know, like a fraction of a second. Anyway, so as an adult, as I've tried this game again, I've discovered that it's actually not that bad. You just have to know what you're doing. It really is a game of kind of like get in front of the guy's face and push the B button a lot. Hershey Hawkins. This is a really, really ambitious game. Scottie Pippen with a skyhook. I don't remember ever seeing Scottie Pippen shoot that shot. Do you remember seeing that before? Anyway, this is an incredibly ambitious game for its time and for being like an NES game. It's really good in the sense that like it does have all of the rules of basketball, all of the things that happen in a real NBA game happen in this game. It's not good though because of things like what we just saw, which is that, you know, the computer can basically drive on you and you can't do anything to stop it. So the thing in this game that determines like success or failure more than anything else is the speed of the player. And it's pretty similar, honestly, to like Football Manager, yeah, believe it or not, which has issues with everything being tied to a player's speed. Part of the problem with this game is that your players, when they're computer controlled, are completely incapable of playing defense. There's nothing that you can do to get them to actually play defense. They will not. And so what that means is that when you're on defense, you're constantly pushing the A button to try to get in front of the guy with the ball, if you can even figure out who that is. So yeah. I don't want to spend like the entire game here totally bad-mouthing this game though, because there are some really cool things, like being able to dunk with Jordan is actually really cool. It's not a particularly good, it's not a particularly good and accurate simulation of basketball. It really isn't, but it's all right. It's a playable game, and that's the thing that it needed to be at the time. Because of that, this is probably the best basketball game on the NES. It's really up between this one and Double Dribble. Double Dribble is a lot of fun. I should play that actually. That's a game that is definitely worth playing, that more people should play and more people should have experience with. Anyway, we're really not playing well, are we? Like, the real key to success in this game is to know who your, like, marquee player is and just get the ball to him. That's it. And also to not take too many three-point shots. That's the problem I've been having here. Yeah, the big issue with this game on offense is that it's very, very difficult to like drive the ball anywhere without running into the opponent and getting charged with a foul. It makes it very, very, very difficult. The other problem with this game is that stuff like that happens like all the time, where you're like, wait, what happened? That was out of bounds? What's going on? So the nice thing in terms of YouTube is that there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in this game where like you're probably going to have to rewind and like take a look and see if you can figure out what just happened. So there you go. And see, there's stuff like that, right, where it's impossible for me to like switch to the guy I want to switch to for whatever reason. But then I get my revenge here with Jordan, but then I don't get close enough for the dunk, unfortunately. Anyway, so the plan here is, I think... Oh, shoot, I didn't miss that guy. I think that the plan here is we're going to play with this game today, and then probably tomorrow we'll give, like, the Genesis or the Super Nintendo version a try. We'll have, like, a couple days of, like, messing around with this. And then after that, you know, we'll see what we end up coming to next. We'll do a whole bunch of sort of, like, messing around with different games and trying a couple of different things out, just for fun. See, the thing about Jordan in this game is that he's one of the fastest players, which is how you know he's really, really good. And so you can have him like run around people and stuff like that. And also his shooting percentage is really good. So this game is a lot different than the NES basketball games that came before, because none of them had any sort of like shooting percentage or statistical basis at all. So like I might, you know, be kind of critical of this game for some of the really annoying things that happen. But the truth is that in terms of like, you know, ambition and stuff, this game is a lot more ambitious than any other basketball game that is on the NES. Like it attempts to do a lot of things that other games simply cannot do. Also, this game came out very, very late in the history of the NES. It was late 1992 when this game was released. Of course, Jordan's gonna get it. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a Tecmo game. Come on, Scotty. Jeez. I feel like I'm playing freaking NBA Jam, man. See, the ball doesn't even go out of bounds before they call it. That wasn't out of bounds. Anyway, like I said, you know, this game is really, really ambitious for its time. It has the ability to, like, here we go. We'll give and go. There we go. Nice outside jumper. It has the ability to, you know, like compile a lot of statistics and stuff, which is something that even 16-bit games at this time were having a real hard time with. So that's another one of the great features of this game. As you just saw right there, like if you have a shot right before the buzzer, it's not going to count. So there are little things that kind of drive you nuts. But on the other hand, you have stuff like these stats, which is actually really cool. Anyway, unfortunately, there's no halftime show. That's the one thing that I really miss. I wish that we had something like, you know, the famous, the ladies in Tecmo Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about. But it's all right. Man, Scotty, you just been blocked all over the place. Here we go. Good job, Grant. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of surreal for me to play this game and like show it off, because like when I was a kid I never ever would have thought that like one day I would like be playing this game in front of other people. It's really kind of a strange thought. I love this though, nobody gets in his way. That's the secret of this game. You figure out who like the fast player is, and you just do that over and over again, and then you can score a whole ton of points and do well. Ah, crap. Barkley. Out of my way, Barkley. That's how old this game is, by the way. Barkley was still on Philadelphia. I don't even remember Barkley being on the 76ers, actually. I mean, like, I don't know how old I was when this game came out, right? I was like 7 or something, you know? I would have been 8 when this game came out, but if it's based on the stats from the season before, it would have been when I was 7 years old. Yeah, I couldn't get there in time. So with Jordan, you want to take 2-point shots. I don't think that he has great 3-point shooting ratings. Oh man, I almost got there in time too. Shoot, and then the problem is, see, I want to pass it back to Michael, but he's on the other side of the stripe. But the other thing you can do with this game is that you can, yeah, so like let's say we want to take Grant out. Here we go. You can do a substitution. So like if I want to take Grant out and put in like Livingston or King, I can do that. I'll put BJ Armstrong in. It doesn't really matter who you put in, honestly. Like the position that the guys play doesn't really matter that much. I didn't even see where the ball was. And if you're playing with other teams, like one of these videos, I'll probably show you what the trick is playing with Utah. I can't remember which player it is, if it's Tyrone Corbin or if it's one of the other sort of like journeyman players that they had on that team that year. Come on, Scotty, geez, what are you doing? There is a player on the Jazz who also has like the highest possible speed rating in this game, which makes him really, really difficult for the computer to guard. That's the sort of player you're looking for. You're basically looking for whoever the fastest player is on the court, and that's who you want to get the ball to, and hope that he also has like the best shooting percentage. But even with a bad shooting percentage, if he's fast, he'll be able to do stuff like that, you know. That sort of move where you're like moving like straight away from the computer and stuff, I'm not good enough to be able to do that. I prefer to do what I just did there, which is just to like totally drive and, oh man, I thought that he fanned on the dunk. Shackleford, does anybody remember who that is? I know there's going to be somebody here who's from Philadelphia who's going to say, oh yeah, are you kidding me? You know, I know who this guy is. But yeah, I mean, this is getting to some pretty obscure NBA players. See, Scotty's really fast too, so you can do stuff like this. No problemo. Yeah. I mean, it's Daryl Dawkins. We're not going to stop him anyway. Dude, why does that keep happening? I mean, he's not even... Like, in theory, the guy's supposed to be, like, stationary in front of you, but, not here, I guess. Anyway, this is basically what this game is like. This is the whole game. You do this over and over and over again, like game after game after game. So, what was it? There was a review that I was reading on GameFAQs a while back that was talking about this game being like, you know, an exercise in basically doing like the same thing over and over again, like repetitive stress or something like that, right? And the reason why is because that's literally what this game is. You're just doing like the same button movements over and over and over again for like an entire season. Like your entire season is nothing but playing this. Now, I mean, it's a basketball game, and basketball games are going to be like that. If you've been watching me play like NBA Jam or whatever, you know that, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing like every time. If you've seen it once, I mean, you know what the strategy is going to be and stuff. There's not like a million different ways to play the game. But this game is even more repetitive than that. And if you're playing better than I'm playing today, you're going to end up doing like the same thing over and over again, especially on defense. And you're going to try to get the ball. Geez, I'm trying to get around him. Man. You're going to try to get the ball to the same guy every single time. Now, if you play the 16-bit versions of the game, things like what just happened there don't happen as often because the computer-controlled players actually can play defense. But for whatever reason, in this version of the game, the computer-controlled players are incapable of doing anything on defense except for standing in front of guys. And even then, they don't do a good job of it, so stuff like that happens. Anyway, it's part of sort of the difficulty of this game. It really is. Now, to be fair, like the computer-controlled drones also have the exact same problem. So it is a fair game in that sense. It's not like, you know, you can't do anything. It's not like Double Dribble Playoff Edition on the... he didn't let me have the guy I want. It's not like Double Dribble Playoff Edition on the Genesis, which is the game where like you can't do anything at all, and the computer-controlled defensive players can like jump around and do crazy stuff, and you guys just stand there. This game's a little bit more fair than that one. Alright, we might have to start taking threes here. I don't know if Michael can make any. The other problem with hitting B over and over again on defense is that's the way that these guys are getting in front of me. Seriously though, I mean, if you watch a bunch of Jordan games, you're not going to see Jordan like running in front of like the entire other team on the fast break like that. He didn't do a lot of that, right? He was more of like a full court type or a half court type player, right? You see a lot of him like, you know, making a move to get after a guy and stuff like that. Not that I necessarily would expect like this game to be extremely realistic, but you know, this is not really the way that the game was played back then. Yeah, we are not going to win this game. I can guarantee you that. There's like no chance that we have. We've got to figure out how to stop them on defense. So the nice thing about the Bulls is because you've got both Jordan and Pippen, you've got two guys who are extremely good fast offensive players and are also very good at defense. The problem that I've been having here though is a bit of bad luck with them. It's funny because when I was playing this game earlier for the video that I made on this game, I was actually winning like by double digits almost every game, but apparently I'm out of practice. Of course, it would help if they would let me have the guy who's right in front of the guy with the ball. I mean, we're kind of doomed here no matter what. The other problem you'll notice is that the floor is the exact same color as the basketball. So, like, you steal it like I did right there, and you can't see where the ball went, you know. Anyway. We shot 61% from the floor, which is actually incredibly good for a full game of basketball. But we were 1 from 10 from 3, and that's, I think, what the biggest problem was there. Only 16 rebounds as well, so we could have done better with that. We did get 3 blocks, though, so we did all right. But a disappointing end for us. Jordan with 45 points, Pippen with 22. and everyone's in excellent condition, of course. And Ron Anderson, man, had a really good game. Barkley, not so much for Philadelphia. So what you can do now is actually what we do now is we hit that button and get ourselves ready for the next game, and it's ready already. How about that? So there you go. There's a little bit of Tecmo NBA Basketball on the NES for you, just in case you haven't seen that. I think a lot of people probably have not played it or seen that game. It's a pretty old game that not a lot of the kids these days are so into. But there you have it. Like I said, we'll have more tomorrow. Probably play some of the 16-bit versions that are a little bit easier to follow. So I'll see you then, and have a great day. Bye-bye.